threats.
Slap me in the face, you know.
Mate, you've not got what it takes.
Anger.
I know my rights. Do not
Calm
touch me
yourself
again.
down, I will carry on the raving good.
Desperation.
I'm owed so much money. Oh, God.
What happens when debt
Can you please leave now?
I don't have money here.
tracks you down?
Nobody have that kind of cash.
Up and down the UK,
Oh, you can't say, mate, don't be taking my equipment.
we see Britain's most resilient High Court enforcement agents
This is not your snap, this is not the wrong
dealing with every debtor's worst nightmare. Because if you can't pay,
I'm not instructing you.
they'll take it away. County court judgments against individuals in England and Wales rose to the highest level in over a decade during the first quarter of 2017. Nearly 300,000 judgments were issued during this period, marking a 35% rise from the previous year. "7:30 a.m. High Court enforcement agents Max Caraher and Steve Pinner are on their way to Fulham, West London, to recover a debt of almost £8,000 owed to a firm of accountants.
OK, Max, we're in Putney now. Where are we off to?
But this will be no ordinary job. The debtor is a well-known personality.
He's famous for being on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. He was also sent to prison for fraud. He had a fleet of Ferraris and he actually hid some of them
Why?
to claim on the insurance and got a huge amount of money, and then he was found out and sent to prison.
The debtor is Lord Charles Brockett, and Steve and Max are on their way to see him at his exclusive penthouse apartment.
So, yeah, I will ring the bell for the concierge.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. We are High Court enforcement agents here with a High Court writ.
All right, come into reception.
Lovely, thank you very much.
The agents are buzzed in by security.
They've got some penthouse suites up there.
Good morning, sir. Are you the security here? Hello. Not a problem. My name's Max Caraher. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I'm here with my colleague Steve Pinner. We've got a High Court writ for one of your residents.
Who?
Mr. Brockett.
Mr. Brockett. Can you mind if I give him a call?
The security guard calls up to Lord Brockett's apartment.
Is Charles there? Oh, they're away. I've got people here from the High Court. Yeah, 1 second. This is the family.
Yes, not a problem. Hi there. Who am I speaking to? I understand it's not a convenient moment, but unfortunately we're commanded here. We should explain that when we're upstairs. Cheers. Bye. Thanks ever so much, sir.
It appears that Lord Brockett is away and that his mother and stepfather-in-law are staying in the flat. But the agents have the right to remove goods to offset the debt, even in his absence.
Good morning, madam. Sorry to bother you.
You've got to go through.
Go through.
But as Steve and Max enter the flat, they're in for a surprise. The apartment is crammed with valuable antiques and artwork.
When I walked into the flat, I thought I'd walked into an art gallery. I mean, there was very few spaces where there wasn't a picture or a painting or something. It was just crazy, phenomenal for where we were.
The agents have all the leverage they need if Lord Brockett can't or won't pay. But now Max needs to find out where he is.
We're here for Charles Brockett.
What's it in connection with?
We're enforcement agents. We have a High Court writ here.
Against him?
Yes. Where is he at the moment, sir?
They've gone to Cuba for a fortnight.
Oh.
Yes, they went yesterday.
Ah, OK. Would it be possible to get him on the phone?
They've got mobiles, yes.
Excellent.
So, what do we need to do? Give you his mobile?
If you get him on the phone for me so we can speak to him, I think that's going to be the best option.
At the moment, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
I understand that Lord Charles is travelling and on holiday. but he has a High Court writ that he needs to pay. If not, we'll be removing goods, and we don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, how much do we have to pay? I mean,
We-
can we pay it?
I need to confirm with him that we can speak to you about the details. It's not me being difficult.
No, okay.
It's
Well, we can try and get it, but we'll be waking him up now.
sure. It's just the Data Protection Act. We can't say.
No, that's all right. I
So,
understand.
thank you.
The debtor's mother-in-law gets him on the phone.
Charlie, Diana. Good morning. Sorry to wake you in the middle of the night. I've got some gentlemen here from the High Court who need to speak to you. So I'll pass you over.
Hello, sir. Is this Mr. Charles Brockett?
Yes, it is. Yes, speaking.
Hello, Mr. Brockett. We're enforcement agents and we've been sent here with a High Court writ.
Right.
We need to collect a balance of £7,666.42 at this moment in time. Is there any way you're able to pay that, sir?
Not at the moment, no.
Not at the moment. Could you just confirm that you are not going to pay this balance?
Yes, sir, I'm not, because the judge has asked me to ask for it to be set aside.
It seems Lord Brockett has applied to have the case set aside. But as the application is still being processed, the High Court writ is active and must be resolved today.
You were saying about possibly removing some goods from here?
Yes.
Yes, well, none of this stuff belongs to Lord Brockett.
Yes, certainly. Hello, sir.
Just so you are aware, the whole property and its contents are owned by the trustees of the First Lord Brockett's Will Trust.
Okay.
There's nothing there except for literally things like my toothbrush.
Lord Brockett, I understand what you're saying. However, unless an original bill of sale can be provided, the onus of proof isn't on ourselves, and we can indeed remove that asset. And unless we get payment, we will be removing them.
Okay, I'll ring Hansel now and then come back to you.
Not a problem. Thank you, Mr. Lord Brockett.
Thank you. Okay.
Whilst the agents wait for Lord Brockett to call back, Max and Steve start an inventory of goods they could seize if he can't prove they belong to the trust.
The assets in this property are unbelievable.
And for the agents, the flat is a gold mine.
What do you know about art?
I know that it's in a gallery.
Steve, I know nothing about art.
Unsure of the value of the paintings, Max and Steve turn their attention to the antiques.
Ink pen set?
Silver.
I'm seeing these assets that look like they've been in a museum for many years. It shocks me. I've never seen anything like that, and I've been to some nice places. It was one of a kind.
20 minutes later, Lord Brockett hasn't called back.
Right, Steve, at this moment in time, he's refused to pay. I think we'll get some contractors down.
But then the security guard arrives together with Lord Brockett's son.
I spoke to him, and legally he said you've never got 7 days notice or something, and legally you can't be taking anything out of the flat.
Notification of enforcement has been sent here.
You can't just take stuff, surely.
Yes, I can. I'm an enforcement agent.
Just then, Lord Brockett calls back.
Okay, so can I now tell you?
Yes.
We've got 2 gentlemen there. I've checked with council.
Yes.
They've asked you to leave the building. They're allowed to use whatever steps are necessary in law.
Excuse me?
They told you to move you.
Right, so you're saying that they can use force to remove us from the building?
Yes, from the building.
No, they're not. They're going to be they'll be arrested if they lay a finger on us.
With Lord Brockett now making direct threats against the agents,
But can you please leave now?
this case has taken a nasty turn. Max and Steve will have to use all their tenacity to complete the job peacefully. Max Caraher and Steve Pinner were in West London to recover £8,000 owed by Lord Charles Brockett.
Good morning, madam.
You've got to go through.
Go through.
Lord Brockett's in-laws were looking after the flat while he was on holiday.
Is there any way you're able to pay that, sir?
Not at the moment, no.
But when Max explained they were going to start removing goods to cover the debt,
I think we'll get some contractors down.
Lord Brockett started to make threats.
We've got 2 gentlemen there. They told you to move you.
No, they're not. They're going to be they'll be arrested if they lay a finger on us.
But can you please leave now?
Now Max has got to make Lord Brocket understand that he has every right to stay in the flat and complete the enforcement.
Right, I'm now going to start removing goods from your lounge, okay?
They are going to stop you doing that.
Believe you me, if they do, then they'll be arrested.
By who?
By who? The police.
Can you hand the phone back to the gentleman?
Yes, certainly. I know you're following orders from your boss. If you obstruct us, we have to call the police.
With Max standing his ground, Lord Brocket tells his son he must let the agent stay. Now they must get this case back on track.
We've been here for quite a long time now, so we are going to do a physical removal.
What are you taking?
Well, I identified the clock, the writing set.
How do you know the value of what you've taken?
We'll leave an inventory, madam. At auction, it gets about 10 to 20% of the actual value.
Do we get this back ever?
If the debt is paid for.
I mean, these are heirlooms, you know.
Debt doesn't discriminate between the rich and the poor. You could be at the top end of society or right down at the bottom. Debt will affect us all at some point in our lives.
But then Lord Brocket calls again.
Hello, Charlie, it's Diane again.
Hey.
I'm going to pass you back to the
I'll explain
officer.
it.
It seems he now wants to negotiate.
If you was to settle this debt at present, it would be held in a company client account for 14 days. And then that would leave everything in the flat here, untouched. If you're successful in your winning of the case, it then gets returned.
Is the full amount that we pay today refunded?
If you win the decision, then it gets returned to you.
Okay, yeah.
Charlie, why don't you let us do this?
I think Mrs. Hughes there is going to arrange a payment.
Yes, no problem. Would you like me to pass you back over?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Lord Brocket's mother-in-law agrees to pay his £7,700 debt in full.
That's gone through absolutely fine. Everything's put back where it is. We're all sorted here. Thank you for your time, and I do apologise.
The agent's perseverance has paid off.
Thanks very much for your time. Take care. So, cheers. I think this just goes to show that he's not immune from the law. What a flat, though, with the artwork, etc.
Gosh.
Latest research has revealed that more than half of Britain's small and medium-sized businesses are suffering from late payments. Over 20% of firms are owed over £25,000, while 40% have experienced cash flow problems as a direct result of unpaid invoices.
Next case then, mate.
High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are in Coventry to recover a debt of £10,000 owed by City Leisure Coventry Limited, a company which runs a local pub, the Watchmakers.
It's like it's going to be nice today, isn't it?
Doesn't it?
The business owes the money to a contractor who carried out refurbishments in the pub, but wasn't paid the full amount of their invoice.
It looks like there's lights on the inside, though.
The contractor took the company to court and won. And now payment must be made in full today.
All the lights are on.
No?
No.
The pub appears to be empty, but former publican Matt thinks on his feet.
Just get the other side of that, mate. Who's going down? Me.
Yeah, you are younger, like.
That's it. Use all your armed forces skill there, mate. Get in there. It's one thing pub landlords always forget to lock a cellar drop. Always.
But down in the cellar, Gary is in for a surprise.
Who are you?
My name's Gary Boy, High Court Enforcement. We're after City Leisure Coventry Limited.
Long gone.
Long
what
gone.
are you doing coming through my cellar door?
Hello, sir.
Get
No
out.
means that.
Get out. City Leisure.
Get out.
I'm afraid.
Right, get out. City Leisure don't
afraid.
occupy. Okay, I'm going to film everything you're doing. How fucking dare you walk into my property?
I thought it.
Not for fucking me, you ain't.
The address
Not
I have.
for fucking me,
For the
you
address
ain't.
I have.
City Leisure, they don't occupy here anymore.
Okay.
Right, so get outside and I'll show you the paperwork.
You can show me here now.
You are?
You can show me here now.
What, in the fucking cellar? Get the fuck out of my pub. Get out of this pub
Call
now.
the police then.
I'll fucking call the police, you cunt. How dare ya? City Leisure don't occupy here. Who's that for?
City Leisure.
Right, come here.
After hearing the aggressive conversation, Matt quickly goes to join his colleague.
Get up here.
Don't shout.
But the man has left the cellar.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Right,
Go here.
first of all,
No,
you settle down.
Get your hand
First
off
of all,
me. Get your hand
settle
off.
yourself
Get your
down.
hand off me.
Calm yourself down.
I know my rights. Do not touch
Calm
me
yourself
again.
down,
Don't
simple as that.
touch me again.
Calm yourself down.
Fucking breaking into my pub.
We're here with the Ritz, sir.
No, you're here
Yes,
with
we
a writ
are.
for a City Leisure
No,
company, right?
We're
which
here for a
isn't the
writ
occupant.
with this property.
Right, that is against City Leisure. That company's gone into liquidation.
Well, answer the door when we knock it then.
The man claims a new company now runs the pub and that City Leisure Coventry Limited has been wound down. But the man's reaction has raised Matt's suspicions, so he checks his case notes.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Steve Carvel.
Your name's what, sorry?
Steve Carvel.
That's one of the directors of the company, mate.
It doesn't matter.
okay.
It doesn't matter what the director of the company are. That company is gone.
The company's registered at this address and it's active on Company's House.
Okay.
Okay? You're a director of that company.
Yes.
Right, so why are you not dealing with the issues that it's got?
Matt's notes show that Mr. Carvel is the director of the debtor company, City Leisure Coventry Limited, and that it's not gone into liquidation, as he claims.
So we're here today for the balance of £10,765.86. Okay?
City Leisure.
If that's not paid, we're going to be removing goods from the property today.
City Leisure don't own anything here.
Okay, well, as far as I'm concerned, they do.
Your writ is for a previous occupier.
It's not, is it? It's for you.
No, it's no.
Your City Leisure...
Excuse me, no.
Coventry?
No, that's a separate legal entity. That's a limited company.
With Mr. Carvel insistent a new company runs the pub, he shows Matt and Gary paperwork, which he thinks proves his claims.
Watchmaker's Leisure.
Yep.
It's a company that occupy here.
Yep.
Insurance certificate, Watchmaker's Leisure. Non-domestic rates, Watchmaker's Leisure, VAT, Watchmaker's Leisure. City Leisure and nothing to do with this premises. I've shown you all the evidence. That's from the solicitor. That's the licence to occupy. That's Watchmaker's Leisure. What are you going to do?
It appears that Mr. Carvel has set up a new company, Watchmaker's Leisure, to manage the pub. If the assets have been transferred to his new company, they can't be seized. But Matt needs proof.
Have you got a full inventory of everything that's in the property that says it belongs to somebody else? And the day that it was paid for?
Ownership of goods. That's the inventory of the goods.
Right, this document's a year old.
Yeah. Supported by that is the licence to occupy from the solicitors.
Yeah, that's not relevant.
The document is not proof that the fixtures and fittings have been legally transferred to the new business. Matt turns up the pressure.
Would it be fair for me to assume that assets belonging to City Leisure Coventry Limited would be here?
Unless shown otherwise.
Unless I'm shown otherwise.
There you go.
But I don't think I've been
Well,
yet.
I think you have.
All right, okay. Well, unfortunately, that's my judgment to make, not yours. We often get told, you know, that business is not active anymore. It's been wound up. You know, it's gone bankrupt. Whatever the argument is. However, we've checked with Company's House to make sure that we're attending the right registered premises, to make sure that the company is active, and to make sure there is no winding up petition against the company.
With no proof that the goods belong to Mr. Carvel's new company, Gary and Matt start an inventory of assets.
Do you know how many of them stalls there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But then suddenly, Mr. Carvel seems to want to negotiate.
Just so I understand, mate. What's the amount that you're claiming?
£10,765.86.
I just want to put this to bed.
Just over 10,000 quid. Because categorically it'll be empty this afternoon, you realise that, don't you?
Fair enough.
See what you can raise, see what you can raise. I was a publican for 15 years, so I know the score.
We do have to use the High Court writ and the powers from it wisely. You know, the last thing we want to do is remove goods from a business for their employees, you know, to lose their jobs. However, you know, if they're not working with us to try and get this paid, that's the only course of action we do have.
The agents have now been on the premises for half an hour. Mr. Carvel has managed to find a friend who is willing to help out.
You the landlord's mate, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, he's out the back, I think.
All right.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, Steve. I'll be honest, mate, I don't think it's going to be enough. Is there anybody else that can top it up? Mate, I can put the call in for you. I don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest, but I can ask the question. Is there any other avenues you can try? Nothing. I'll give him a ring and see what happens. Just give us a minute.
Matt goes outside to see whether Mr. Carvel's offer is acceptable to the claimant.
Managed to speak to the director, who is the director of City Leisure, and he's making an offer of £2,000 today.
It'll be refused, mate. You've got to try harder.
If we came somewhere along the halfway mark,
yeah.
All right, I'll have a chat with him and I'll come back to you. Cheers.
Matt goes back inside to break the news to Mr. Carvel.
The indication is that the only way that they would not remove today is if you got somewhere near half. See what you can do to increase on what you've offered, right? And then I'll give another go. All right.
Minutes later, Mr. Carvel returns with another offer from his friend.
3. And he's like literally clearing out his own business. He's like literally clearing himself out. Literally.
It seems that a £3,000 down payment is the best Mr. Carvel can do. But Matt has a solution.
Are you open this weekend?
Yeah.
How much would you take over the weekend, on average?
6.
You could pay 3 today, 2 on Monday, and then 2 payments for 2.8.
Yeah.
281, 81.
2881.
Matt calls the office again to see whether Mr. Carvel's new offer will be enough to resolve the case today.
Good afternoon.
I've got an offer from the defendant, £3,000 today with £2,000 on Monday.
Okay, Monday.
Yeah, and then 2,800 for the week after and the week after that. He's got the 3K now. He just wants the weekend to make some money so he can pay us on Monday.
I'll mail you back in a couple of minutes. I'll speak to Glenn now.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just waiting for a call back, Steve. Okay. They've just gone to the client with it. I'm just going to wait for a call back.
Cheers.
Hello.
Hello, Matt. John.
Hi, mate.
Okay, I can confirm that the client has accepted that proposal.
All right, mate. Lovely. Thank you. Thanks, John. Accepted, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good. Oh, it doesn't worry me at all, bud. We'll leave as mates, don't worry, I promise you.
Mr. Carvel's friend pays the £3,000 down payment.
Best man this year.
He is the best. He's the best man today, definitely.
The agents get Mr. Carvel to sign a controlled goods agreement, which lists assets on the premises.
Signature there, print your name at the bottom, mate.
If he doesn't stick to his repayment plan, the assets will be removed.
All the best, mate. I hope you get sorted.
The case is resolved for now. But if Mr. Carvel defaults, the agents will be back.
Let's go, let's go.
Matt and Gary had to calm an angry debtor down to get a result. But in Max and Paul's next case, they meet a woman facing a financial crisis.
I'm owed so much money. Oh, God.
At risk of losing what little she has.
Well, what goods will you be thinking to?
Everything of value.
The number of people who contacted a leading UK charity to seek help with their debts has risen by 62% over the last 5 years. Research has shown that nearly 15 million people in the UK have insufficient savings to live on should they fall on hard times. High Court enforcement agents Max Caraher and Paul Bohill are on their way to North London to recover a debt of £18,000 owed by a recruitment consultant to a dissatisfied client.
We're off to see Mrs. Roberta Grada, and we're looking to collect £17,881.87.
The client wanted his money back after the debtor, Roberta Grade, recruited an unsuitable PA for him and then failed to find him a replacement. He took her to court and won.
Oh, so this might be an interesting job.
Let's go find out.
If Roberta can't or won't pay today, the agents can remove goods to offset the debt.
Nope. Hello. Hiya. Hello, madam. High Court Enforcement.
Oh, right, okay.
Hello, Roberta. How are you? We've got a, what do I need? £17,881.87. Do you know what all this is about? You'll also have to speak a bit closer. I'm as deaf as a doorpost. The problem we've got at the moment is that we have to collect on the funds, or we have to enforce a writ, which is removal of goods. That's obviously my job to look and see what assets we have to remove.
Roberta won't open the door, so Paul posts a business card through the letterbox.
There's a phone number on here. Can you call me on it? Because it's a bit silly talking through the door. Hello?
And I know I've got to pay it.
Okay.
But I'm just unprepared to kind of be asked for £17,000 on my doorstep today. That's all it is.
Okay. Well, what would you propose to make?
No, I can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, how do you propose
I can't
paying?
hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Right, speak to me through the letterbox so we have no breakdown in communications. I'm a realist. I don't expect you to be able to pull out £18,000 out of your pocket. We need to come up with A, an arrangement, and B, I need to get something to pay off the client.
We are in a really tight situation.
Yep.
Like, at this side of Christmas, I'm just waiting for sort of money to come in.
If you say that to me, then we have no other option but to enter your property and remove goods.
It's critically important to gain access to the property under a writ of control as soon as is possible and peaceably. Unless we're in the property, we can't make an assessment of the debtor's capability to pay the debt. Without access to the property, we can't even enter into the negotiations.
Realising the agents aren't going to go away, Roberta finally lets them in.
Sorry. You just come as a double act.
She's keen to tell the agents her side of the story.
I'm an agent, so I found him a secretary to support him
Right.
in his business world. Then he fired her.
Right.
And then wanted me to replace, which I
And you couldn't find anybody to
I
replace?
spent a year.
So he's suing you for
yeah,
what?
and then all the time he was like changing the goalposts and what he wanted.
Okay.
I want someone part-time, I want someone full-time. So I spent a year.
So he's saying he had to hire somebody else, and that's what he
Yeah,
sued
I
for.
owe him like a refund. I decided not to go to court to fight that because it's all his word against my word kind of thing, and I didn't have any sort of money to sort of, get a legal team behind me.
The only option I can see at the moment, if we can't get a down payment, is removing a large number of goods to cover part of the debt.
I mean, I could do like £150 like today.
If that is the case, we will have to seize goods.
Well, what goods will you be thinking?
It will be everything of value. This is a route that both my colleague and I really don't want to go down. If we get a down payment,
It changes the complexion of it.
It really changes everything.
I'm owed so much money as well, that's the problem.
Okay.
I'm owed so much money, oh God.
With payment looking unlikely, Max goes to do a vehicle check on the car parked outside the house.
Hiya, can I speak to somebody to do an HPI for me?
Yeah, it's on finance.
What are the T&Cs of that finance?
60 months. So it's only taken out.
Whoa. Okay, cheers.
Take care, mate.
Bye.
With the car out of bounds, the agents look around the house for any other assets they could seize. There doesn't seem too much of any value, but the agents' actions have prompted Roberta to act.
Oh God, let me call my husband and see what he can do.
When people are trying to find the money, if I can see that they're making a conscious effort, this could be making phone calls, getting their other half on the phone, a real effort, to show that they are trying to resolve this problem. If somebody's sat there on the sofa saying, I can't pay this, that's a defeatist attitude.
Roberta has asked her husband to call round the family to see who can help.
One sec. Yes. Hi, darling.
She'll pull over.
Is she going to do... Oh, that's so... is she going to call me on my mobile? Oh, did you explain to her? All right. Oh, that's so sweet of her. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, darling. Okay, bye. Bye. Right, okay, my sister's going to help.
She's going to help. Oh, that's very encouraging.
Roberta's sister has agreed to pay £3,000 towards the debt. It's less than a quarter of what she owes, but it appears to be her best offer. Max goes outside to call the office to see whether the claimant is willing to accept it.
Could you give me an indication as to what the client would accept as a down payment so we don't have to remove what little she has?
The client would look like they want at least £4,000.
That's 4,000. Alison, what I'll do, I'm still unsure if she can get it, but I'll say, look, 4,000 is the absolute minimum that the client would take.
Absolute minimum, that's what I've got on here.
Okay, Alison.
It's not good news.
So what did they say?
£4,000.
4,000.
£4,000.
Roberta calls her sister directly.
Darling, I'm so sorry to put you in this situation, honestly. Are you all right to sort of help out just with the payment, just for now, sweetie? If it could be £4,000, would that be okay? All righty, thanks so much, sweetie. Thanks, darling, thanks a million. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Roberta's sister agrees to pay the £4,000 the claimant has asked for.
I believe you are going to help Roberta out with a down payment of £4,000 so we can solve this problem. Thank you very much for being able to help.
Now Max has to set up a payment plan to clear the £14,000 balance.
What can you reasonably afford so you won't default on payments? You tell me.
Could it be sort of like £1,500 per month?
Provisionally, I will accept that. That's a reasonable figure. That's your paperwork there. That just sums up everything we said, how much you paid and the dates.
Yeah.
They're the card receipts.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Okay.
The case is resolved for now. But if Roberta doesn't stick to her payment plan, the agents will be back. A recent survey has shown that almost 50% of families in the UK are struggling to make ends meet. Nearly 20% admit to being unable to cover an unexpected cost of over £100. While 1 in 7 UK households have to cut back on food and other necessities to pay for unforeseen expenses. High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball are in Smethwick, West Midlands, to recover a debt of almost £6,000 owed in unpaid nursery fees by Linda Mkulsia and Charlie Isiora.
Who's next then, buddy?
Childcare again, mate.
Childcare.
They, between them, owe £5,875.72 to a children's nursery.
The debtors received government help with their childcare fees directly, but failed to pass on the money to the nursery, and now they must pay the £6,000 they owe in full today.
Hey, madam. It's looking for Linda or Charlie.
Linda or Charlie?
Linda Mkulsia or Charlie Izuri.
No. My name is Angel.
How long have you lived here, madam?
I've been living here now for a year.
1 year?
Yeah.
Okay, just tell you, my name's Gary, this is Matt. We're both High Court enforcement agents.
Yes.
Here today with a High Court writ. Are you renting, are you? Have you bought?
I'm renting.
You're renting. Have you got a tenancy agreement? Or a
no,
council tax bill?
No.
Can we just have a look at your identification as well, please?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
As this is the address on the writ of control, the agents have every right to stay and investigate further. Gary makes peaceful entry into the property.
Madam, just a passport or a driving... There you go.
Please, you can come in.
We can come in. We've got a High Court writ.
The woman shows Gary her driving licence.
You're Angel, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your date of birth, Angel?
Yes.
Your date of birth?
Oh, my date of birth is
What's your date of birth, madam? That's quite easy. Give me a driving licence, which is I don't think is quite real.
Huh? What do you mean?
No, don't take it out of my hands. What's your date of birth?
My date of birth is 9th of March, 1986.
That doesn't look real to me, that driving licence. It's a bit different to mine.
Anything you wanna think is up to you. I'm showing you my identification as you ask. Right now, you are really embarrassing me in my neighborhood where I live.
Okay, we're just making our checks, mate. We're just doing our job, all right? So the quality of it.
Presented with what looks like fake ID, the agents are now even more suspicious that Angel really is the debtor they're looking for.
We're just going to have a quick look round, sweetie. Make sure this person's not here, OK?
Matt looks for paperwork to prove his hunch.
Do you know where your tenancy agreement is, madam? We can get this matter resolved.
I don't have a tenancy agreement. He's my husband who deals with everything.
But then, upstairs, Gary finds a bundle of letters.
What's that letter, man? It's Linda. An open letter.
I had letters coming here.
OK.
They are all addressed to the debtor, Linda Mkulsia.
Something's not quite right here, is it?
We used to open letters that come
You used to open other people's letters?
Sorry?
OK.
Letters that come to this house, we open them.
It's a bank letter with a new pin. You Linda, madam, are you?
I'm not Linda.
Because in my house, right, there's letters to me, and that's it. Found that. New pin for a bank account, 3 weeks old. If you've been in this house a year, why is this lady who we're looking for still sending a pin to your house then? And you're opening it, and it's in your bedside table?
I said all the letters that come here, I used to open it.
Something's not ringing true here, madam.
This is becoming a joke now, it's serious.
Is it? I don't think it's funny.
Despite the evidence to the contrary, the woman is still denying she's the debtor. But then Gary spots a handbag.
Is this your bag, madam?
Yeah.
It is your bag?
Yes.
Definitely your bag. I've just found it on the kitchen table, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me why there's a Matland card for Linda in there, then. In her bag.
When we reveal that someone's lying to us, it puts us in a strong position. It opens up the defendants into realising that, you know, the game's up. We know who you are. Time to deal with it.
I think we found the right person, haven't we?
I think we have.
And then you think...
Linda card as well. Your bag, madam. OK, so you're obviously Linda, aren't you?
Okay. My real name is Linda.
Linda's deceit has been exposed, but will the agents be able to get the almost £6,000 they came for? High Court enforcement agents Matt Highway and Gary Ball were in the West Midlands to recover a debt of nearly £6,000 owed by a couple for unpaid nursery fees.
Hey, madam. It's looking for Linda or Charlie. We can come in, madam.
The woman they met denied that she was the debtor and gave the agents suspicious ID.
That doesn't look real to me, that driving licence. It's a bit different to mine.
But Gary's detective work proved that she was lying.
Is this your bag, madam?
Yeah.
Tell me why there's a Matland card for Linda in there, then.
Now the agents must get this case resolved, one way or another.
Do you want to start telling the truth?
Okay.
Is there any reason why you lied to us about who you are?
The reason is we are no longer together. I wasn't working, so he was the one paying the bills. He was the one paying for the child's school. It's not my business.
Unfortunately, it is, isn't it? The child in question is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my child, but with our agreement, the man pays because he's the one who said, don't work,
right.
I'll pay everything.
Right. So the easiest way for a debtor to avoid payment is to deny all knowledge of it, especially when it's a debt from a previous relationship, because that's something that they're trying to forget about and move forward from. And then suddenly this debt from that relationship comes and bites them on the bum.
Despite her claims, as she is named on the writ, Linda is responsible for the debt.
So first things first, are you able to pay that amount of money?
I don't have money here.
Can anybody help you with it?
Nobody have that kind of cash.
Right.
With Linda saying she can't pay, the agents start looking around the house for assets they could seize. And they're in for a surprise.
2 Cartier bracelets here, mate. If they are real, they're worth thousands, but we'll seize those. Rolex watch, DKNY watch, Gucci glasses, 2 very lovely rings, big diamond rings.
You can't take my ring.
I can, I'm afraid, madam.
In the bedrooms, there appear to be thousands of pounds worth of designer goods.
We've got a DKNY handbag. I don't know if it's real or not. Doing the search, you know, you're looking out for these things of value. You know, finding a Cartier box with bracelets in, finding expensive watches. It builds up a picture. It builds up a lifestyle on how these people are living. There must be money going through that property.
The agents list the designer items on an inventory. But even though they would have been expensive to buy, their value at auction may not clear the £5,875 she owes. But then Gary finds some vehicle registration documents.
BMW, 6 Series. Where are these BMWs, madam? You're trying to hide goods, because you've got a debt against you.
I didn't hide any goods. I've got a car.
What car?
This one.
It appears Linda owns one of the BMWs Gary has found paperwork for.
Yeah.
He calls the office for a vehicle check.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye. Free of finance.
How much?
3,000.
The value of the vehicle would cover just over half the debt, but there's a problem.
Where is this car?
There is somewhere.
It's somewhere. Okay.
Over the rainbow?
Yeah.
It's pointless talking about this one,
It's
isn't
in
it?
a garage for the service.
It seems that the vehicle can't be recovered until tomorrow, and the agents are running out of options. But then Linda makes an offer.
Okay, then. I've got a friend, she says she can have the money tomorrow in cash. But anyway, hold on.
Using the car as collateral, Matt decides to offer Linda a lifeline.
I'm happy to give you until tomorrow to pay this. I'll do what's called a controlled goods agreement.
The agents put the car and the luxury items on a controlled goods agreement, which means they control her goods, but she can keep them in the house.
OK, Linda, if you just sign there and print there.
If Linda doesn't pay the £5,875 she owes within 24 hours, the agents will be back to seize the goods.
Taking goods is always a last resort in enforcement. That's not what we're there to do. It's a pain for everybody involved. We use different forms of leverage. The shortened version of leverage is levy. That's what bailiffs do. They levy on goods. So, you know, that's what we use. We use the car, the boat, the plane, whatever it may be. Thank you, Linda.
And there's your cards there, Linda. They're in your bag, all right.
Thank you.
Cheers, Linda.
I ran out of where to go with that one, mate.
Yeah, she wasn't forthcoming, was she? Still, if she didn't pay tomorrow, we'll seize the car and we'll come back and get all that jewellery.
And the Can't Pay agents are back at 9 next Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, the youngsters who just want to make friends but are being moved on again. Gypsy Kids, Our Secret World is brand new at 9. And new next tonight on Channel 5, it was meant to come with brand new appliances, not leaking sewage. Nightmare new builds in just a moment.